CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. London city officials are asking drivers to be cautious in the midst of a province-wide shortage of road salt. In response, city crews are adjusting their road clearing operations. Brian Bicknell reports.
Snowy, windy and slippery on London area roads. But you don't have to tell flatbed tow truck operator Josh Borton.
The roads are a little bit crazy. I've been pretty busy for the last, 6 or 7 hours, pulling people out of the ditch.
London drivers began the work week navigating city streets that have taken a pummeling from Mother Nature. Some making note of the roads being even more slippery than normal after a major winter event.
Pretty difficult, even with winter tires. I still find myself slipping around.
It's still pretty messy out here, despite the fact that plows and stuff have probably already been out.
The city finds itself having to ration its road salt usage. Because of a province-wide supply shortage, crews are plowing major roads more frequently to reduce the need for salt. That means side streets are taking longer to get to. Crews are also using more sand with salt to reduce salt usage.
The conditions the last few days are probably not what people would expect after a storm, because they're used to that. That's those salt applications and the little warmer temps. So just give yourself a little buffer, a little more stopping distance.
Meanwhile, OPP posted a video of a closed section of Highway 402 Monday morning with Constable Jeff Hare demonstrating just how slippery it is.
When I do this, it's a sheet of ice out here.
And of course, it's not just the roads. Sidewalk clearing operations are obviously having a hard time keeping up as well. This is Wellington Road South at midday. Pretty brutal.
Some of the sidewalks are cleared well, and parts of the sidewalks aren't. There is ice underneath, okay? So I haven't fallen too often, okay?
Not too
3
often.
times over the winter.
1,900 lane kilometers of sidewalks throughout the city. So it does take, 24 to 48 hours after a long 2-day snow system like we just had. So we just exercise some patience. Let us get to the work.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Meanwhile, what's considered the largest salt mine in the world is just a few hours north of London. And company officials in Goderich say they've been operating below capacity in recent years because that's what the market demanded. However, as Scott Miller reports, the market has now changed dramatically.
Over 100 trucks are lined up outside the Goderich salt mine today. It's been like this for weeks, say locals, as the province grapples with a salt shortage. With the significant impact of winter weather compared to recent seasons, the entire road salt supply chain continues to experience high demand for de-icing salt. At Compass Minerals, we are actively working to fulfill all current orders, prioritizing shipments for our municipal clients, says Compass Minerals in a written statement. Goderich's salt mine produces about 7.25 million tons of salt each year, but has the capacity to mine 9 million tons. In 2024, Compass curtailed production of salt to align inventory with business conditions, which means instead of having huge stockpiles of salt sitting in inventory, they decided to produce salt more on an as-needed basis. Well, it's needed now.
We got 33 skids in yesterday, and I'm down to 12 already today.
From in November, prices being $132 a ton, we're up to $290. So the overall price is about a 220% from where it was originally.
The trucks, train, and boats loading salt in Goderich today are dealing mostly with municipalities who are also talking about curtailing or at least closely monitoring their salt supplies as they try to keep roads passable. We are focused on moving product as efficiently as possible while also maximizing daily output from our Goderich mine to ensure optimal full-season inventory availability across our network. We remain committed to serving all our valued customers in Ontario and all the markets that we serve. The lineups aren't likely to end anytime soon here at the world's largest salt mine in Goderich. There is more snow and more cold weather on the way, which means salt will be at a premium probably all winter long. In Goderich, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Frontline homelessness agencies argued against adding a good neighbor clause to their contracts with City Hall tonight.
When we put this kind of language into our contracts, we are actually saying, step up so we can hit you, so we can put you down, so we can actually further stigmatize this population. It's not appropriate. This
part of the framework demands a higher level of public accountability for service providers than is asked from elected officials without access to any comparable resources.
The committee agreed a good neighbor agreement would put unnecessary administrative costs and cleaning requirements on frontline agencies, and it was not recommended. A second motion that would have made sweeping changes to London Cares and Project Home funding was also not supported. However, the deputy mayor suggests current contracts should be renewed for just 1 year so councillors can collaborate with agencies on improvements.
What I heard from the delegates in the gallery was actually a recognition that, yes, there may need to be some changes and some evolution of things, and that they're willing to discuss that. So I was willing to provide some opportunity for that discussion to happen.
There was criticism at City Hall today over London's new cold weather response after the Boyle Community Centre remained closed during some bitterly cold nights.
Grown men and women crying in our donut shop because of the trauma of being outside all night after walking to Boyle.
Do you remember my friend Olivia, who burned alive trying to stay warm in a tent? Do you remember my friend Blue, who fell asleep in the cold and woke up with his leg amputated? Or how about the girl who froze to death in front of our library?
Back in September, council had agreed to open the community center on nights when temperatures dropped below -15 and a wind chill below -20. That meant if only one of those conditions was met, the facility would not open. Today, the committee recommended spending up to $290,000 to open an additional 20 times whenever either temperature is reached when Environment Canada issues a weather warning.
If this is a true emergency, we need to start considering opening up all available spaces. There are people on the street in OEV because they can't go inside. Why don't we open the doors and let them in?
London police are investigating a weekend shooting in the Old East Village that's turned into the city's second homicide this month. With the latest on the case, here's Lauren Stallone.
Safety is top of mind following an overnight shooting in the 700 block of Dundas Street Sunday.
We have an element of individuals that hang out and spend their time in the Old East Village, and until we combat that problem, these problems are going to continue.
London police say they arrived on scene shortly after 4 a.m. and located 2 victims who had sustained gunshot wounds.
One person has since been declared deceased, and a second person was transported to London Health Sciences Centre, where they are receiving treatment.
This marks the second homicide of 2026 in London, both occurring in the Old East Village.
We're working hard to improve the area, and things like this, are only add to the disappointment, and it's disheartening.
The Old East Village BIA is concerned about the future of businesses in the area and is calling on the City of London to address the mental health crisis.
We are having social services that are doing the best they can with what they have, but they are not equipped to be dealing with the individuals that they are serving.
Kevin Morrison with the BIA says mental health and addiction is at the heart of the issue.
It's way too expensive to, build and open up psychiatric hospitals again, but smaller treatment centers is certainly a way to go.
The Palace Theatre, located on Dundas Street, took to social media saying it is committed to working with the city and local leaders to ensure the safety of our neighbors, volunteers, and patrons is not just prioritized but made manifest.
We are dedicating as much resources as we possibly can to ensure obviously that we bring this to a safe conclusion and ensure the safety of the citizens of London.
Police are asking anyone with dashcam footage to come forward. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Few details from police on a multi-day investigation near Western University. Officers have been on scene since Saturday morning, and as Rita Ismail reports, nearby residents say they're growing concerned.
London police aren't saying much about why officers have been stationed in this University Heights neighborhood for days.
This is not the norm, that's for sure.
Residents say police have been on scene outside this home on Chesham Avenue since early Saturday morning, something they say is out of the ordinary.
7 police vehicles at one point, and there's always somebody on site 24 hours a day.
Just before noon on Monday, police blocked off the road to traffic. A bobcat was brought onto the property, followed by city crews salting the area around the home. In the backyard, a tent could be seen, with police remaining on site. The heavy police presence has also caught the attention of nearby students.
I live just down the street, and I'm not too concerned, but I'm just skeptical. Why are there police cars in the area? And also some of the buildings on campus, there's been a bigger police presence.
Which buildings?
The engineering buildings.
Over the weekend, London police confirmed officers were also on scene at nearby Western University, responding to reports of a trespasser on school property. Police say one individual remains in custody. In a statement to CTV News, Western University says all engineering buildings were closed Saturday due to an active police investigation. It remains unclear whether the two investigations are connected. London police say there is no risk to public safety, but for nearby residents, questions remain.
Being told the public's not at risk, but obviously something significant is going on.
Police say the investigation is ongoing. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Members of Parliament returned to work today after their 6-week holiday break. The government's first order of business announcing a GST rebate for groceries. Mike Couture has more on the initiative and who will benefit.
So we're acting today. Choosing to be in a produce store instead of Parliament, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced new measures to tackle the affordability crisis. The Liberal government is renaming the GST credit the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit and raising it by 25% for 5 years. With an additional one-time payment this year, the average family of 4 will get nearly $2,000 in 2026 and $1,400 each of the following years. The measure is expected to help 12 million low-income Canadians.
On average, these payments make up for the higher level of food prices since the pandemic.
Carney also laid out a new national food security strategy to strengthen domestic food production and improve access to nutritious food. The Conservatives say the GST measures aren't new, but they'll support them.
The Prime Minister has revived a Trudeau-era rebate, which will let pass, that will barely cover a few trips to the grocery store.
The focus on pocketbook issues is a clear response to the #1 concern of Canadians, according to this pollster.
That's going to be the battleground for the next federal election, and it's going to be the key way that Canadians judge both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre.
With a campaign-style announcement today, it had some wondering if Canadians could be headed to the polls this spring.
Of course we're not. We're not. We're focused on results for Canadians.
The Conservatives say they'll back the GST boost as long as other spending isn't added on. The bill is expected to be tabled in the coming days. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
London fire crews are crediting working smoke alarms with saving the lives of several people from a house fire in the city's East End this weekend. With more on that, here's Brent Lale.
Smoke alarms save lives. A London family is lucky to be alive. The smoke alarms alerted the tenants and they woke up by them and evacuated the house. Early Saturday morning, fire broke out in the basement of a home on Martinet Ave in the East End of the city. The crews encountered heavy smoke when we entered the building. They went to go to the basement. They were forced back from the heat. With zero visibility because of the smoke, firefighters exited and discovered from the exterior the fire was in the bedroom. They had trouble because of a cluttered basement and many combustible items. They had to go around behind the stairs to get to the bedroom, and there was a pool table in the way. There was a lot of clutter in there. They got through that, and they found the seat of the fire, and it was a bedroom in the basement that was pretty much consumed by fire. The residents had evacuated, and police and EMS were on scene. 3 of the 4 people inside the home were taken to hospital with CO and smoke inhalation. A fire inspector is on scene looking for the cause and origin of the blaze, while London police officers stand by to hear the results of his investigation before determining their next steps. District Chief Todd Rainey had a couple of messages after leaving the scene. You definitely want to have clear paths to the basement, especially if you have people sleeping in the basement. There was a bedroom down there, and that person was lucky to get out of the bedroom. The other is the importance of working smoke alarms. It did save 4 lives today. Brent Lale, CTV News.
A prominent local activist for the queer community has died. Richard Hudler founded the AIDS Committee of London and was a former president of the gay and lesbian organization HALO. Hudler filed a complaint in 1995 with the Ontario Human Rights Commission after a majority of city councillors refused to issue a proclamation celebrating Pride ceremonies. The commission eventually ruled against the city councillors' decision. Hudler was 84 years old. When we come back, changing leadership in Minnesota. The president sending in new oversight, an attempt at de-escalating tensions over ICE agent violence. Canada's main stock index finished lower today. The TSX dropping 52 points. In New York, the Dow gained 314. The Nasdaq added 100. The Canadian dollar gained 0.16 of a cent. Gold broke the $5,000 U.S. mark for the first time, and oil fell 44 cents a barrel. America's top border official is expected to leave Minnesota after a second fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen at the hands of federal ICE agents this month. With more on who's now expected to take over, here's Adrian Gobriel.
With smoke bombs igniting an already explosive, deadly weekend in Minneapolis, the White House held its first press briefing today following the killing of Alex Preddy on Saturday.
The president is fulfilling the will of the people by arresting and removing these threats from our country in cities from Los Angeles to New York and, yes, Minneapolis.
With word tonight that top Border Patrol official Gregory Bovine and some of his agents are expected to leave Minneapolis tomorrow, Border Czar Thomas Homan has arrived in the city to take over ICE operations.
To continue having these productive conversations with state and local officials.
On Saturday, 37-year-old Alex Preddy, an ICU nurse, was shot and killed by U.S. federal agents. Video shows one of the officers removing a gun that Preddy was believed to be concealing during an anti-ICE protest. Then at least 10 shots can be heard. The Department of Homeland Security has said that agents fired in self-defense.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage.
His family say Preddy had a license to carry and conceal. At no time is he seen holding a gun. The only item in his hand, a cell phone.
There are investigations into what took place on Saturday.
On his Truth Social page, President Donald Trump shared that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has reached out and requested they work together. The two seem to be on a similar wavelength. The White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt blaming Walz and other Democrats today in the state of Minnesota for the killing of 2 civilians by federal agents.
Elected Democrats were spreading lies about federal law enforcement officers.
According to the White House, President Trump is said to be open to reducing the number of agents on the streets of Minneapolis-St. Paul's, but only if a list of demands are met, including all illegal aliens in state prisons be handed over to federal officials. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Good evening. Frigid wind chills overnight and extreme cold warning in effect. Temperatures through the overnight feeling like -25 to -30. Waking up to some bitterly cold wind chills. Make sure your pets are dressed appropriately when heading out. If you can feel the cold, so can they. Thank you, Jet Baxter, for this photo. A great example of how our pets should be dressed. Check out Bandita head to toe in her little snowsuit. -17 to -16 first thing in the morning with some light flurries. We have a clipper system moving in for your Tuesday. I'll have your local forecast details right after this.
Welcome back with Julie Atchison on the desk now after a pretty intense weekend of weather for us, and a little more intense in other places, as we saw earlier in the newscast. A lot of snow.
Yes, record amounts of snow in and around the GTA. For us, it was just your average snow squall in London, picking up 17 centimeters, but shutting down areas in and around Toronto. Heavy snowfall plaguing the region over the weekend as a low pressure area moved by to the south, followed with cold temperatures across the region and extreme cold warnings in effect, stretching right across southern Ontario from Windsor east to Toronto and stretching into Grey and Bruce County. We had snow squalls again today with snow squall warnings in effect and through parts of Huron County and Bruce. We still have flurries and blowing snow out there tonight and snowfall amounts continuing to pile up. It's cold and temperatures well below normal with wind chills overnight feeling close to -25 to -30. And that's where we will start your day tomorrow. We should be at -3 and -11 for a normal daytime high and low. Overnight temperatures from -14 to -17. So feels about 10 degrees colder than that. So in parts of Midwestern Ontario, feeling close to -25, as I mentioned. And when you're outside, even for a short period of time, there is the risk of frostbite. So please be aware and take care. If you are traveling, it's always a good idea to pack blankets and some supplies in your car, especially when temperatures get this cold and if you are going an extended distance. As we take a look at the satellite radar, we have a clipper coming in for tomorrow that will bring some light snowfall once again to the area. Initially, it'll shift our winds to the southwest. So through the day tomorrow, the early part of the day, the winds will be out of the southwest. That should shut down the lake effect snow temporarily in Midwestern Ontario. It will bring some light snowfall to the area, generally under 5 centimeters, but this cold front will bring us a shift to the northwest with our winds as we head into the afternoon. So here's the area of light snowfall coming through early in the morning. So as you head out the door, there will once again be a coating of snow on your cars. So make sure you leave yourself a little bit of extra time. As we head into the afternoon, still the chance for flurries. This is the cold front coming through. And then as the winds turn northwest, we'll once again see some heavy snow squalls develop in parts of Grey and Bruce County, as well Huron County stretching through Perth. Oxford County, you're on the fringe of this, so Woodstock area, you will pick up some flurries as we head through the day. Snowfall amounts under 5 centimeters in London, north of London about 5 to 10 centimeters, especially in the areas expected to see some squalls develop in the wake of this weather system. It's extremely cold, as I mentioned, and there's no reprieve from the cold until we hit the weekend. Temperatures start to come up, but we'll still average about 5 degrees below normal. Right now, feeling about 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of year, and the frigid conditions continue. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll hit a high of -8, but the cold front that's coming through will bring us a push of cold again tomorrow night, and then we're back down to -19 as we head into Wednesday morning. Wednesday, expecting a mix of sun and clouds, so a bit of sunshine this week. It's always nice, even when it's cold, if you get some sunshine, it definitely perks people's moods up just a bit. Heading into Thursday, Friday, some flurries in the forecast. Daytime highs -12 to -13. It won't feel warmer than -20 those days. And then the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds Saturday and Sunday with daytime highs from -6 to a -8. So windy, blowing snow through the day tomorrow, and another push of cold Arctic air coming in as we head into Tuesday night. Carlyle, the cold conditions hold as we head into February.
Thank you, Julie. Rehearsals are underway for the upcoming Stratford Festival season, and this year organizers are doing something they say they've never done before. They're producing 2 shows on one stage, performed by mostly the same cast. With more on how that works, here's Jeff Pickle.
That's something rotten. Yeah, that's something rotten. So that's kind of cool.
First day of rehearsals at Stratford Festival for Something Rotten and Guys and Dolls.
Oh, I haven't seen all of this yet. This is me.
2 shows on one stage with one cast.
What that means for the audience is that you can see one of the musicals, say, in an afternoon, and perhaps the same night, you will see another show with the same cast.
For director Donna Fior, what they are attempting is nothing short of remarkable.
We are doing a unique and one-of-a-kind experience, probably in the world. So you will see an actor do one role, and that's a Renaissance show. That's in Shakespeare times, to Guys and Dolls, which is 1949 New York City.
For the actors, it's a unique challenge.
Well, we'll be in physio a lot. We'll have therapy sessions. It's just a big demand on everybody, physically and mentally.
Guys and Dolls is returning to Stratford after a 9-year wait, but for Something Rotten, it's been just 2 years. As for the challenges of doing 2 very different shows in the same day, it could actually make an actor's life easier.
When you're doing a gig where you're doing the same show twice in one day, that's when you start to get confused because you hear the music and you're like, wait, did I already do this? No, that was this morning when we did the earlier show. So it's a lot easier to do 2 different shows in one day than the same show.
The first production of Guys and Dolls is April 21st. Something Rotten hits the stage May 11th. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Stratford.
Welcome back. Local Tim Hortons outlets have launched a new promotional campaign celebrating a London connection to the upcoming moon mission. The fast food chain is changing the name of Timbits to Moonbits, honoring London-born astronaut Jeremy Hansen. The special edition box will be available once the launch date is confirmed, and the earliest date for liftoff would be February 6th. London hockey players are heading to the Ontario Senior Winter Games next week, each of them more than 80 years old. As Sean Irvin reports, once they hit the ice, they'll actually set a record.
On the ice and on the bench, this squad of senior hockey players is full of team spirit.
Go get him, Jamie!
London senior hockey, once known as Huff and Puff, has welcomed players into their 80s and a few into their 90s. But when the most senior in this recreational group decided to form their own over 80 competitive team, they ran into a problem. While submitting an application for the Ontario 55+ Winter Games in Huntsville, the team found out they will be in a league of their own.
This is groundbreaking for us because I don't think any 80-year-old team has competed at this level before.
Games officials confirm it is a first. So, with no one else to play in their age group, the London team had to agree to face off against kids in their 70s. The thought doesn't scare this 81-year-old defenseman.
Oh, yeah. I said immediately, put me on.
The declaration is not surprising, as most have been playing for 3/4 of a century.
I think I got my first pair of skates when I was 4.
I'm just the type of person that has to keep busy, and I've always played all kinds of sports.
The team will be coached by Brian Laporte, but as a young pup of 72, he does know his place.
You can't teach old dogs anything. Dude, come on.
Laughs aside, Brian, who is the convener of the LSH, takes pride in heading up a squad of senior hockey stars. He's optimistic that other players at the games will see them and opt to create their own 80+ teams in time for the 2028 edition of the games.
Hopefully that's an inspiration for Ontario Senior Games.
Some, like John, a survivor of 2 heart attacks, have certainly taken on bigger challenges. It's partly why he was chosen to dub the team the War Years.
War Years, W-A-R-Y-E-A-R-S, because most of us were born during the war years.
And for that reason, young players are forewarned that this group is not about to let you carry a puck by them without a little chip shot.
Coincidental contact, I guess. Yeah.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.